Tonight on the South Today, Otago University fronts up with more details on proposed cuts to combat a $60 million deficit. Beaumont's new two-way bridge gets another step closer to completion, hitting a major milestone this week. And a Christchurch museum makes it easier for locals to trace the history of their wartime ancestors ahead of Anzac Day. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. Hundreds of jobs are on the line as Otago University looks to address a gaping $60 million hole in its annual budget. The university says salary savings will be a major part of dealing with the deficit, blaming falling student numbers for the problem.
A dark day for Otago University as the institution confirms big changes ahead amid a financial crisis. Staff were told yesterday the university was $60 million in the red and is considering hundreds of job losses across both academic and administration staff. Acting Vice-Chancellor Professor Helen Nicholson says the tough financial situation has been signalled for a number of years, but urgently needs addressing for the university's future.
As well as the drop in enrolments, the environment has changed significantly in our costs, inflation.
She says government funding increases haven't kept pace with inflation, but admitted a fall in enrolments is at the heart of the issue. Fewer high school students are gaining university entrance through NCEA. The university is also blaming more entry-level job opportunities and young people choosing to move overseas.
So we've decided to be transparent with our staff yesterday about our untenable situation, and the hard work really starts now.
Applications for voluntary redundancies open on Monday, with more redundancies to follow. The university is also considering the possibility of asset sales.
We have a plan and we will work with our Kāmahi, our employees through these difficult months, and we know it's going to be difficult over the next few months. We have very good people, and it's not a situation that I ever wanted to be in.
Dunedin Mayor Jules Raddick says the city will do what it can to support those affected, but accepts it's important the university sets itself up for success into the future. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A huge turnout to this year's Wanaka AMP show has resulted in some large donations to help out communities affected by Cyclone Gabrielle. More than 44,000 people attended the two-day show in early March. Organisers of the Wanaka AMP show are now donating $30,000 to help out North Island farming communities that were hit by Cyclone Gabrielle back in February. $1 from every adult ticket sold, along with every livestock entry, was set aside for the charity fund. So $20,000 will go to the East Coast Rural Support Trust, with the remaining $10,000 being donated to Northland's Rural Support Trust. Community corrections and probation staff in Invercargill have joined in a nationwide 2-hour strike, claiming they are underpaid and underappreciated.
What do we want? Fair pay! When do we want it? Now!
Community corrections staff took to the streets of Invercargill on Thursday as part of a nationwide strike calling for fair pay. These 20 workers were among nearly 2,000 staff who joined pickets across the country. The strike action follows 9 months of negotiations with corrections, with staff claiming it's failed to provide an acceptable offer.
What this means is that community correction staff, they've reached the end of their tether. They care about the work that they do, supporting vulnerable people in the community and keeping our communities safe.
Affected workers include electronic monitoring staff, probation and bail support officers and community work supervisors. The Public Service Association says their members work with more than 31,000 people under the care of corrections.
Yeah, they don't walk off the job easily. They really care about the people they work with and care about the community. So it was a big thing for them to take this action.
Another strike is scheduled for next Thursday, unless a settlement can be reached with the Corrections Department before then. In Invercargill, the South Today.
After years of construction work, a new Beaumont bridge looks to be just around the corner. A full-length bridge structure is now in place after 2 sections were connected together.
A new bridge over the Clutha River on a vital tourist and business route in Otago. The Beaumont Bridge has been layered in scaffolding for more than a decade, but a new 2-lane bridge is almost ready to replace the old structure built in the late 1800s. Contractors HEB Construction have been working on the new bridge since 2021, and on Thursday they poured the last of the concrete, creating a continuous surface from one side to the other.
Oh yeah, this is a major milestone, so yeah, you see the guys are absolutely buzzing out there. Yeah, we'll be celebrating after this one, so yeah, it's really good.
Apart from some minor COVID-19 delays, he believes the $25 million project has run pretty smoothly. But while there's now a structure in place, the bridge isn't yet ready to be opened up to traffic.
Still going to be in a state of construction because we've work then to do to sort of tie it into the old bridge, so there's still quite a bit beyond putting traffic onto the new bridge.
The old bridge will eventually be linked as an underpass to give cyclists of the Clutha Gold Trail access to the township. The completed bridge is expected to be open to traffic by late July, although construction work will continue until the end of the year. In Beaumont, the South Today.
Today is Poppy Day, an annual day to remember those who died in war and to support those who served and survived. Volunteer collectors have been on the streets around the country, with poppies also available in some businesses. Poppy Day is the main fundraising activity for New Zealand's Returned and Services Association. All money from sales and donations goes towards improving the health and well-being of former service veterans of all ages. This year marks 101 years of the annual poppy appeal, with around 1 million poppies sold each year in return for a gold coin donation. Increased interest in Anzac history in recent years has encouraged Christchurch libraries to offer a range of events and services for residents. One group in New Brighton has been fighting for more than 2 decades to keep the memories alive of their local boys who went off to war.
We shall remember them. That's the call from a dedicated group of volunteers at the New Brighton and District Historical Society and Museum. They're working to try and preserve the history of Christchurch's east side. And as part of Anzac Day commemorations, the group have compiled the New Brighton Boys, a collection of photos and stories from local soldiers who went off to war. The group of mainly retirees has embarked on an ambitious modern quest to digitise a large collection of exhibits.
We've got a lot of stuff, all of these things. If the place burnt down, we're finished. That's it. We can't start again. So we're trying to get it all onto the website.
Butterfield believes it's important to keep history alive. The team are looking for funding to employ the services of a part-time curator who can help with the huge job of documenting all their historical records.
People that are doing their family trees suddenly realise that we have got so many resources for them that they can come in here and spend hours and hours. We've got filing cabinets full of research stuff and all the big rotoscans. So much you'd never get through it. I've never got through it yet.
Volunteers at the Free Museum say it survives on funding and donations, but offers anyone interested the chance to research and reconnect with their own family history. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Yakane, still to come on the South Today. Leaves fly as the autumnal colours of central Otago are celebrated at the opening of an annual festival, and over in Dunedin, it's a bug's life as Wild Dunedin Festival continues.
Steamrolled prices! There's 19% off recliner suites and lifted chairs, and a whopping 50% off all Oasis range beds. Plus, loads more great deals in stock.
My mate John. Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with 0 deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Excavators have been busy in Gore with a tree maintenance program. A large number of trees alongside the Matoda River have been deemed as high risk and chopped down.
Cleaning up branches and logs after contractors used excavators to chop down 75 trees over the weekend along River and Richmond streets. The trees lining the Matoda River were determined to be high risk by Environment Southland.
All the trees will be down today and the clean-up will happen this week. So by the end of next week we should have everything down, everything chipped and cleaned up.
The clean-up work was aimed at preventing any potential damage to river stop banks, with the trees casting shade in the area and preventing grass from growing.
Trees on stop banks are a big issue when we've got water behind them. The water can pipe out through the roots, so we've got to remove the trees off the stop banks.
The tree felling operation saw logs suitable for firewood set aside to be donated to the local Lions Club, with the rest being chipped and taken to the Gore transfer station. Some other nearby trees would have their roots removed, with all the work due to be completed by the end of the month. In Gore, the South Today.
Arrowtown's Autumn Festival is underway, launching with the official throwing of the leaves, the first of more than 50 events taking place over the next few days.
Yellow, red and orange galore as the 37th Arrowtown Autumn Festival bursts into life. The annual 5-day event has kicked off its festivities with the official opening on the Buckingham Green in the centre of the old mining town. Locals and tourists were treated to kapa haka folk dancing and a two-man circus, giving a teaser of what's to come over the next week.
37 years ago, the passionate people of Arrowtown decided to celebrate the autumn harvest with a variety of events. It proved to be a great way to come together to celebrate the seasonal fair.
The community-run festival has more than 15 events each day around the town, with the street parade, art exhibition and market day among the local favourites. In Arrowtown, the South Today.
The bugs have been taking over at Otago Museum, with the place buzzing at a school holiday event as part of the Wild Dunedin Festival.
Foraging through leaves to discover the plethora of life below. Te Hura Otago Museum was a hive of activity on Thursday, as well over 1,000 children and adults took part in the Wild Dunedin Bug Day and a chance to explore some creepy crawlies. Co-organiser Connell McLean is keen to educate people on the biodiversity of New Zealand bugs and how important they are to our planet.
Almost all life on Earth relies on bugs. In terms of pollination, a lot of our flying pollinators are bugs, and they provide, it's estimated, about 1/3 of every human mouthful of food.
The team was surprised to find getting people excited about bugs was easier than expected.
The kids love the bugs. They love having the live bugs, and it's just worked as a really great hook to get folks over.
Participants were kept busy with bee feeding, leaf litter and worm composting stations. The Bug Day was part of the Wild Dunedin Festival, with the museum hosting more than 10,000 visitors over the last week. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Voluntary redundancies are step one for Otago University as it looks to plug a $60 million deficit. The new two-way Beaumont Bridge on State Highway 8 is almost ready for traffic as contractors link up the sides. And a new Brighton museum is digitising its exhibits, making it easier for people to research the region's history, including its war records. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome the Associate Editor, Jo Simpson. Hello, Jo.
Hi.
What can we expect in the weekend paper?
We've got more on the uni with widespread anger and accusations of financial mismanagement from staff, and we've got more details revealed, including student numbers and where the cuts will be made.
Okay, thank you.
A Dunedin family has taken the drastic step of selling their home to fund a life-saving procedure in Spain, so we've got to give a little for that.
Wow, okay.
And we've got a 67-year-old retiring after Dennis Dunn reckons his hands are like Kevlar, and after 50 years of making furniture.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, we look forward to reading all of those stories. Thanks for sharing this evening, Jo.
Thank you.
And time now for a look at the weekend weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, a ridge of high pressure will bring mostly fine weather to the region tomorrow, but a cold front will arrive on Sunday with showers and cold temperatures for a few days. Heading to the top of the South Island. Light winds with showers clearing up in Nelson tomorrow with a high of 18. Greymouth's nice and fine with 17. And Christchurch is looking cloudy with 16 degrees as the high. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. Becoming fine with highs of 17 degrees everywhere here tomorrow. That's Ashburton, Timaru and Oamaru. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes. Lovely light winds on what will be a clear, warm 18-degree day for Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra. Heading further south, cloudy with westerlies over here with highs of 16 degrees apiece. That's for Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins. And down to the deep south. Well, a bit of cloud overhead as it drops to 10 in Invercargill tonight. Tomorrow's looking slightly cloudy with fresh westerlies and a mild 17-degree high. And to Sunday, expect rain as the westerlies stick around for another day, tending southwest by afternoon, and the day's high will be 15 degrees. And finally, heading to Dunedin. Fine tonight, dropping to 10 as the low. Saturday starts with some mist and foggy patches before a pleasant day with a mix of sunshine and cloud, and the high will be 17 degrees. And into Sunday, northwesterlies first up as high cloud increases before a late and dramatic southwesterly change with showers after a high of 19 degrees. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, and you can also now follow us on Facebook. Just search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again next week. Mā te wā.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.